So hello everyone. Today I'm going to review one of my favorite Zoids ever, my Zoids Blade Liger, which you can see right over here. This is my Tomy Zoids Blade Liger that I got back in the day, back in like 203 I think, or 202 or 203, yeah, long time ago. This is one of my favorite Zoids ever, and he still works, of course. I'll get to that. So first and foremost, let's do a quick little, review of this guy, just to show you how he looks and what he's got. So this is him on his side view, looking very magnificent. Top view, his really long tail. Front view, hello there. That's the front view. The bottom view, where his battery is on. Whoop, I'm gonna put back that stud. He's a little bit old after all. And the side view again, this side. So that is the Tomy Zoids Blade Liger. This thing came from here, his little feet. So I got this guy back in the day. He wasn't really that hard to assemble, though if I remember right, I think when I first got him, my dad had the honor of assembling him. But later on, in subsequent times when I clean him, I'm the guy that takes him apart and assembles him because he does get dusty. So this guy is one of my favorite childhood toys, or not really childhood, but yeah, one of my favorite toys because he is almost 20 years old. And let's show you how he looks. He comes with several little figures, which I shall be getting to, but this is his cockpit. Let me just take off Van and Fiona off there. So if you notice, this thing is silver. As a default, it is unpainted, but I took the liberty of painting the cockpit. But this thing normally is blue like the rest of him. But that's his cockpit over there after I applied some silver paint. So that part is his cockpit. It opens up and down. These parts could open up as well. If you watch the show, the whole ZOIDS Chaotic Century cartoon, I love that cartoon. He forms a shield, and these things sort of flare out. So just like so the toys got this gimmick, so he could form his shield. Because a little background on the Blade Liger, he is the evolved version of the Shield Liger. So there he is. So you could articulate these pieces to form that shield. He's got his little belly gun underneath. He's got, of course, his blades. So he's got two on each side. They slide out like this. Pop them, slide them. These parts on his legs also articulate. They open up. These are sort of his vents. I remember in one episode in the show he was heating up, so these things open up for him to cool down. But I think they also open up to add more shield effects as well. But those are his gimmicks over here. Let's get a close-up of his blade. His blade is gold, but mine is already faded. And on top of the blade, it's got some sort of a gun. So the blades are normally like this, kind of like a samurai, both sides. Let's pop the other one over there. So he usually comes charging at enemies with his blades out. They could also be on, stabby mode, so you could turn them forward, kind of like that, like he's there to stab you. Or in some parts of the show, and you can also do this with a toy, they could sort of be up top over here. But this is more of to get the guns pointing forward. It's like he's firing at things, so you could do that with his blades. On top is his on and off switch. He runs on two AAA batteries. He also has another gimmick, which I shall show you. That thing in his back, this thing, it actually houses his thrusters. So when Van Flyheit wants to make this thing go faster, he turns on these thrusters and makes the guy travel a lot faster. So that is the Blade Liger. So right now I'm just going to show you how he looks when his motor is on. I mean, his studs are a bit loose. They kind of popped out. I had to do something about that, but he still runs. There he is in all of his glory, running. He has a kind of a noisy motor, but at least it still works after all these years. Yeah. And I also like to make videos of him battling other Zoids. I got another playlist called Zoid Wars. You can check that out. And this guy figures in there. He's pretty cool, but as mentioned, that's amazing how he moves. You can imagine Van Flyheit charging with this thing. Now, in a bit, I'm going to get to showing you his accessories. Yeah, so anyways, I just like to show some shots of this guy to just appreciate some of the detailing. Look at those pipes, those little detailing on the pipes and these metal engine-like parts and his thrusters. It's got a lot of detail, even on his legs. They got those tubes and pistons and all of those. So I like the detailing that this guy has. All these hydraulic parts, as you can see here, these hydraulic parts. I mean, there's just a lot of detail on his parts. So I really like that. The cockpit is not too detailed. I wish they put more details, but anyways, I painted it, so it looked better after I painted it rather than being plain blue. So I found the cockpit a little bit sparse at first, but other than that, it's got so much other cool tubes and grooves and panels and details, even on his thruster in the back. So overall, awesome. The battery is under here. Runs on 2 AA's. Basically, you just gotta take off these pieces. Just take them off, pull them off, and you could sort of unscrew it. There is a screw over there in this dark hole. And take these pieces off, you could reveal the battery. 2 AAA batteries. So this guy is a little bit more hyper than the other Zoids that I got, because he runs on 2 AAA's, and I really love those tubes. Look at that. And there are his teeth, his golden teeth. In the show, it's more yellow. His teeth, claws, and blades are yellow. In here, they're a little bit faded now, but they kind of came like this, kind of goldish, bronzy gold. Yeah. So in the future, I may paint this guy, make it yellow instead of bronze gold, but now I'm thinking about it. But that's just some nice detailing for this Zoid. Now on with the stuff he comes with. This is a tiny seated van fly height. So his cockpit, if you guys noticed a while ago, it can house 2 pilots. So this is Van. He sits up front. He is the main pilot and one of the main protagonists of ZOIDS Chaotic Century. Van fly height with his hair that in here it kind of looks like Guile's flat top, but yeah, this is Van fly height. It also comes with Fiona, the ancient Zoidian girl who is kind of Van fly height's love interest. So she is also in a seated position. These figures are kind of tiny, but you know, these are the characters of the show, and they come in both seated position like these and standing. So here they are standing. Kind of have Van and Fiona. They come in plain white. I haven't painted them. It's been almost 20 years, but I haven't really tried to paint them. They're really small, so I might just ruin them, but they're sculpted pretty well. You can see the detail. Van has his hand on his waist, his flat top, puffy pants. Fiona's got her really big hair, her little boots. You see that also. So there, these are the minifigures or the riders that they come with, standing versions and seated versions. And of course it comes with the organoid Zeke, who is also unpainted. Maybe I should paint his eyes. Let's try to get the camera focus on Zeke over there. There he is. He's nicely detailed. He kind of oxidized a bit, but as you can see, he's got nice detailing on his tail, on his body, on his crotch, his legs. So front view of Zeke, side view, bottom view, top view, the other side view. So that is Zeke, the organoid. So a little backstory. Zeke is sort of like Fiona's companion, but you know, Van met Fiona and Zeke, and eventually Zeke became like Van's buddy, his co-pilot. He's kind of like when Luke Skywalker has R2-D2 helping him pilot the Zoid. It's like this guy fuses with the core and powers up the Zoid, or you know, makes it stronger. He can also revive dead ones. So if the Zoids cartoon starts off with Van also finding a dead shield Liger, and then this guy brings it back to life, and eventually Van runs into trouble with a guy named Raven who wrecks his shield Liger. But you know, Zeke envelops it in some sort of energy cocoon, and woof, out comes Blade Liger, a more badass version of shield Liger. So that's a quick rundown of the story. So, and these are the accessories of the Blade Liger. There. Overall, this is one of my favorite Zoids sets ever. I remember when I got him, I sort of saved up money for a cell phone at the time because I needed a cell phone, and I downgraded into a simpler cell phone, you know, into a Nokia 3315 from the one that could play MP3s, because I wanted to get this guy, fit this guy in the budget. So that's why I remember him. And this guy has been with me for a long time. He's been a good display piece, and I play with him. I turn on his motor regularly. And I really like the ZOIDS show. So this guy was, you know, he's been with me for almost 20 years. He was a display piece on top of the TV. He got hit by by a football once, and he fell down. I had, you know, he takes a licking, but it keeps on ticking. 'Cause I fixed him. I fixed parts that need to be glued. I mean, no worry. None of his movement or none of his working parts were impeded. But you know, there were some little parts that got damaged from some of the bumps and falls he took. But he lasted the years, and he is one of my favorite toys and one of my favorite ZOIDS. So this is my Blade Liger, which I got at around 2003 in a local toy store, a department store here. So he is an awesome set. So I hope you guys, you know, enjoyed the review. Some tips. Mine, the studs become loose over time, but you know, I found ways to sort of tighten them. You know, kind of, you know, I find some ways, like put a little bit of a nail polish or gook inside of it to keep them, to make them more rigid. Or you could, some guys here sell ZOIDS scraps, so I could actually get studs from those. These rubber studs become either brittle or loose in time, from my experience. But so far, mine is still good, mine still runs. So, like I mentioned, I have another playlist called Zoid Wars, and this guy comes in a few episodes, and he is pretty awesome. So, hope you enjoyed the review.